Tommy Segoro over in Perth. Welcome.
Thank you for having me, Ben.
Mate, always a pleasure. This is well overdue. When was the last time we caught up?
Oh, well, 2019, 2020, I think. Something like that.
Well,
yeah, been a couple of years at least.
Man, you've just been going from strength to strength.
It's okay. It's okay. I mean, yeah, I'm again, I'm grateful because I remember my breakdown at the beginning of it all, and yeah, it came to my surprise. Things just keep going up and up. I'm at a point now where I have stopped marketing because yeah, if you try to do the right thing by people, I suppose, right, you're not forcing people to buy at the moment. Being a seller's market, I feel like the property purchase turnover is quite slow. So as you can imagine, you can keep piling up clients, but if the purchase turnover is slow, it gives you stress somewhat, right? So yeah, that's good. It's been good.
Good problem to have in business when you just stop marketing and you just have clients coming to you, eh?
Yeah. I mean, I've got people coming to me referred by people that I don't even know. I mean, it's where I'm at the moment. So I'm really grateful. I mean, it's sort of like I don't know. I feel so lucky and blessed to be able to I suppose meet you and finish the course. Because otherwise I wouldn't be where I am right now. Like the best side business ever.
I think what you've done, I mean, obviously there's so many people in the community that I lose touch with people with what they're doing. Obviously I can't keep tabs on everyone. But before we got together today and I looked at your bio and just what you're up to, I mean, 95 purchases. You joined BAI in end of 2018. You're a full-time software developer. You've been doing that for 18 years and you've been able to buy 95 properties over that time. It's incredible.
It is. I'm really surprised because my goal at the very beginning was just to recoup, the course fee and just the license fee, and then that first year alone, I bought like 6, and then the second year, third year, fourth, it just went from strength to strength. I look at my tax return, and I was like, really, is that how much I've been making? It's again, I'm nothing compared to those who are doing it full time, but I've tried starting a lot of side businesses and nothing comes close, right? And if I spend probably about less than 10 hours on average on every client. So and my rate isn't even as high as a lot of other buyers agents, but let's say if you spend 10 hours per client, your hourly rate alone is great. So yeah, I'm so grateful. I really don't know where these clients are coming from. Got a lot of referrals. Yeah, I mean, I've mentioned to you before, but I'm at a point now where I just have to stop marketing because there was like a couple of months ago, I had about 11 running at the same time, and it was just stressful, right? Because you try to like being the seller's market. I've done sort of like almost endless driving week after week, going to properties, and every time you turn up, there are like 50 people there. And straight away, you're like, no, you're not going to buy this property because, the price is just going to be so high and that kind of thing. So, having clients come to you without you marketing, it's great. It's a great problem to have. But at the same time, it can be stressful at times if you're having too much on. So yeah, I mean, so far, the best job ever, best side job ever for me. Yeah.
I love it. It's quite polarizing with careers. And I say this with an open mind, but software developer, super left brain technical, and then you're just this superstar part-time buyer's agent. It's incredible.
Well, because you kind of combine both. Like in the software development, I'm not just doing software development, but I also I am a consultant, right? I've been like I really enjoy that part, and that was the main reason why I decided to become a buyer's agent, because it's exactly what I'm doing, except this is in real estate versus in software. So being a buyer's agent with software development technical background means I get to exercise both skills, right? I get to sort of write a lot of automation for my like CRM and software research and stuff. And at the same time, I get to, exercise my consultancy skill. So that has been great. Yeah, yeah. So
I
yeah.
mean, that's a
Sorry,
great
my
way to
son
look
is
at it.
just joining me as well.
That's okay. He's welcome to. How old's your son?
Uh, 3 years old, just turned 3.
3 years old. Oh,
Yeah,
cute,
yeah,
cute. Um,
yeah.
yeah, I think the way you put that was really, really useful for me to understand. And you made some really good points. Like you're obviously doing consulting, and you can leverage and utilize those skills with your technical background, with that left brain. You're able to apply that, I'm assuming, to a lot of your research and back end processes and systems with your client fulfillment. But I guess what I was referring to more was, and I think that's really useful what you shared, was like you wouldn't think that the I guess two businesses that someone's running, it's a buyer's agent business and a software developer. Like it's just it's a really cool, unique mix. And I think it'd be useful for the people to know that are listening to this around like you started buying property for yourself as step one, right? You were an investor, correct?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I think it's important to have that portfolio as well, right? Because you can use it to. I mean that would be the most powerful marketing tool, is being able to show what you've done for yourself. Like having a property portfolio. In my experience so far, has helped a lot to build that confidence with your clients.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I guess at what point did you, I mean, apart from obviously coming into, I guess, contact with the Institute, I mean, were you aware of buyer's agents during your own investment journey?
No, not at all, not at all. Yeah, I've never heard of it. Only when I saw your Facebook advertisement, that's when I was like, oh yeah, I've never thought about it, because you keep hearing about selling agents, right? In my mind, working in real estate is just all about working for hardcores or Ray Whites, and then when I saw your advertisement, I was like, gee, that's right. Nobody has ever sort of worked for the buyers, right? You always work for the seller, but not so much for the buyers. And when I saw that, I was like, this is a perfect opportunity. Perfect opportunity. Yeah.
That's amazing. So your business, Easy Buyer, is just focusing purely on investors in WA. Is that right?
No, no. So I focus on owner-occupiers and investors, but just for WA market, just for WA market. Yeah, that's how I market myself. And for me, if I can't see the property, I don't feel right offering it to people. I mean, yes, I can always use I suppose, like tools and numbers and that. But for me, I need to be able to sort of like visit the property and have a feel of it. And so that's why I've been sort of just specializing in WA market. Yeah. Yeah. But my market is not just investors, but also owner occupiers, because I think that's the gap that is missing. There are a couple of big buyers agencies here in WA, but they are focused more for like, I suppose, higher budget subdivision clients, instead of servicing, say, owner occupiers or small time investors, and that's where I am focusing at the moment.
That's cool. I had no idea. On rock. That's exciting. So, how is I guess, the WA market? It seems like it's becoming very busy.
At the moment, it is. Yesterday, I just lost an offer. I think there was a property, asking price was like 250, and the agent sort of, when I gave him a call, he was like, I have to stop sort of, you know, providing sort of like doing home opens, because he's just got too much offers on. And in the end, it went sort of almost to 300K. And the last, maybe I would say 4 or 5 signups that I've had, they were all sort of like Eastern State investors. I think 500K or below in terms of price point, it has been very strong at the moment in WA, because yield is high, right? And with WA, the nature of the properties here is you get good amount of land for what you're buying, for what you're paying. So 500K and below is still quite strong. But the sentiment that I've got from a couple of mortgage brokers friends, the 700K and beyond, 700K plus, has sort of slowed down somewhat because of the interest rates. People are getting nervous having a bigger mortgage. So that's where I think the market is at the moment with WA. Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. Do you think when Queensland imposed the land tax, a lot of investors then flocked to WA?
Well, the thing is, I mean, I know I'm competing with sort of Eastern state investors, but I don't know where they're coming from. Can be Sydney, can be Melbourne. People who sign up with me are from Victoria and New South Wales. I haven't had sort of someone from Brisbane signing up with me. So yeah.
I guess do you feel that though the investor appetite since Queensland, imposed that land tax, which obviously they've now removed, but do you feel like a lot of investors just regardless wherever they were based, decided to then move into WA because of that reason when it was imposed?
Well, because I thought the land tax is more geared toward, like, it doesn't matter where you invest, right? With the land tax, that's my understanding. That they will all they just count the sum up the amount of, I suppose, land price that you have all across Australia. I think they might be looking to WA in terms of the yield and the price, because again, we are still like WA. I feel like it's always the state that gets left behind. Like we always, Sydney and Melbourne always comes first, and then Brisbane, and then we always come last in terms of the boom market and that. So I feel like they are looking here because they can see maybe the growth, the development, and also the yield. But at the same time, I've joined few Facebook groups, property investment groups, and they still get worried in the sense that because they are going to calculate the aggregated land amount when the tax was imposed. So I think if you are not sort of buying like a good cash flow property, you can sort of, I suppose, put yourself at risk of having to top up month after month to hold onto your property. So that's still, I think, deterred investors. But now with the good news where it has been scrapped, I think the market has been going stronger again.
Yeah, nice. So how does it feel, right? Like, obviously you built up your own portfolio, you were a successful and you are a successful investor, but I'm curious to check in with you around now, within, just under 4 years, you've been able to purchase 95 properties. You've been involved in 95 transactions, which obviously comes with a lot of learning, a lot of skill development. You must be feeling like very, like, I guess, different to when you were up to a stage buying your, properties for yourself, correct?
So I've learned that kind of thing along the way. The buying property itself, obviously, in terms of the strategies, I get better and better, because you get to meet more tradies, and you get to understand prices better as well. Let's say if you want to find something for subdivision or renovation, you get to understand prices better. But at the same time, you also learn how to deal with the clients better. You are more cautious before you present any properties. Make sure it ticks all the boxes. It's just the brief, and you get to understand different clients' mindset, because everybody comes to you has a different mindset, different requirements, and that's what I learned actually more along the way, more than just the property strategies itself.
Yeah, great negotiation with agents and dealing with agents. Do you feel like?
Yeah, you get to work with different selling agents, how they play the game, right? Because in WA we have the saying that everybody knows everybody, and when you are being in this game long enough, you get to meet the same agents over and over and over again, because there are limited suburbs within the metro area, so to speak, and there are specialized agents in every area. So you get to speak to the same person over and over again eventually, and you get to understand how they play the game, right? How they negotiate and things like that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, very cool. Okay, and so what's the plan for you now? Like, are you just very content still, obviously working, full time with your current, software development business and keeping this on the side? Like, is that something that you want to keep doing, or?
Well, that's the thing. That's always a $1 million question, Ben. Because like I said, I mean, I've mentioned this to you before. The income is so great, the potential, right? Not just the current income that I do from like having it as a side job, but the potential is excellent. But also I get paid well in IT, and I really enjoy it so much. But I think the most important thing is I'm not an entrepreneur, so like I don't have that entrepreneur sort of passion, not like yourself, where you want to expand and things like that. That's not my passion, which is a pity, because I could have expanded this, right? Starting hiring people and things like that. But I don't enjoy that part of it. I've tried again, I've tried to start many side businesses, but in the end, I was just like, it's, I feel like it's just, it's too hard because I don't have the passion. That's my biggest obstacle at the moment. So really at the moment, I probably just, leave it as is. Who knows? I might have another light bulb moment, and it can go from there. But at the moment, I just don't have that sort of that business passion to like in my mind already. Geez, I just can't be bothered training people, attending sort of like networking events, and doing what you're doing, webinars, and just try to get more people, more clients on board. I just don't have that passion, unfortunately. So yeah, yeah. So at the moment, I'm happy with. I mean, what you created is just amazing, amazing. Like the best side job ever, ever.
I, I think it's cool that you don't have this drive to expand your business. You enjoy working solo, servicing your clients, and I guess following that internal passion around property, and then you get to continue with your IT work. Like I think you're in a. I mean, I know you said you're grateful before, but yeah, I think you're in a really good position, and I think um, sometimes less is more, and so just because people want to hire new people and expand, sometimes that reduces their margins anyways. They end up with less profit, more headaches. So I think it seems like it works well for you, your current arrangement.
Well, that's the thing. It's always the temptation of man of being greedy, right? I mean, you always tend to long for things that you don't have. And every time I look at I suppose the high successful ones, the very successful, like Darren or Arjun, I was like, I could have been one of them. Do you know what I mean? But then again, I remember like there is no point of living your life not doing what you love. Again, I sometimes I feel sort of like it's a pity as well, because the potential is so great. The potential is so great. I mean, I can see it right away. If had I had that passion, my goodness, I would have quit my job and expand this. I mean, easily, right? Especially where I'm at right now, where the portfolio is there, ready to go. The closing rate, more than 90%, right? That's how that's my success rate at the moment in terms of closing clients. The potential is there, Ben, right? But I just
I
don't
want to
have
stop
that
you there. I
passion.
want to stop you there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because before I forget the question, because I was going to ask you this, and then you kind of just spoke to that point. Your close rate you said was 90%. And my question was going to be around, did you have reservations when you got into this? Because you didn't come from a sales background. Obviously, real estate is sales focused. Typically, when you're a buyer's agent or a real estate agent, you are sales focused. Did you have reservations that you may struggle signing on clients and just selling in general?
Well, that's the thing, because at the beginning, maybe it's a different mindset that I have now, right? As you grow with your business, your mindset changes as well. Because at the beginning, I was focused more about, it's about the branding, it's about but eventually I realized it's the person, it's me, it's the trust that you've built with the people, with past clients, and also people who've been in contact with you. Um, and and yeah, so like at the beginning, I feel like closing, because again, like I started in a market where people are not familiar with buyers agents, right? Now with my, I suppose, exposure in Facebook and LinkedIn, people keep referring to me. People that I don't even know, if they know someone who wants to buy a property, they just refer them to me because they know that I work as a buyer's agent. So that makes it easier. But at the same time, you have more confidence, right? The way I treat the leads now, it's different from when I started. When I first started, I treat every lead almost like, oh, please don't go away kind of thing, you know. And sometimes it actually reflects in the way you you became careless because you tried your best not to lose them, but in the end you might lose them because I don't know how to say it, but when you try too hard, right, you you can make mistakes that way. But now I'm at a point where I changed my approach. Again, it comes with experience. Like I can't do this when I first started because I don't have that mindset. I don't have that confidence. But as you grew, I'm now, the way I treat the leads that come to me is like almost like, okay, if you are the right fit for me, you would be in contact with me anyway after our initial conversation, right? While at the beginning it's very different. It's almost like, again, it's almost like I'm begging, please don't go away kind of thing. And I think they can sense that. Now it's different because they can see the confidence, and again, I've got a good portfolio with 95 purchases. I just send them to my website, and it's like, if you've never been to my website, please check out my portfolio page, and yeah, I mean 90%, they will sign in the end because they see the experience, they see that I'm not pushy, right? The way I treat them is almost like, yeah, it's like, if you want to sign with me, good. If you don't want to sign with me, that's fine. You can always find someone else. But being being able to sort of treat people like that came to my surprise. I thought they'd be like, well, it's not arrogance in a way, but it's almost like, okay, you know what you're talking about. You've got the confidence. You've done this many times, long enough for a lot of people. I think that's sort of the vibe they're getting. That's what I think anyway. Yeah.
It's amazing. I mean, a 90% close rate, man, is high, like is excellent. And what I'm assuming is that this 90% of people, they're coming strictly from referrals from trusted past clients who endorse you as a very trusted buyer's agent. So the person, when they meet you, I mean, they just want to obviously know that you exist and you're not a robot, I guess.
Yeah, and also at the same time, I'm not trying to sort of push my services. And I feel like people feel that when they speak to me. It's you get what you pay for, so to speak. I'm not trying to con people. I speak honestly what I think about. Say if they ask me about the market, I tell them honestly what it is. If I feel like it's probably good for you to wait, then let's wait. But if you want to buy now, let's buy now. And keep my surprise when I say that to people. There's no sign up. And it's like, oh, just buy now, Tommy. That's fine. And I'm like, okay, right. And yeah. So I think being able to again, this comes with journey, right? You can't have this day one when you first started. Like, you have to build that. But eventually, this is what I keep telling people. I think you and your team have referred a lot of people to me, especially those who want to do this, say, part time, right? And I keep telling them, first, don't give up too quickly, but secondly, also, it's about you. It's about the trust that you build with people more than just the branding. So always treat people with respect. I know people who don't want to. If you're not going to give them business, they're not going to entertain you, right? But that's not me. Like, for me, whoever people refer to me, whether they just want to ask questions, I will keep servicing them, because they might not be my direct clients, but they have friends and families who might be my clients eventually. And I've had a lot of success, not even from my direct contacts, right? It's them referring people to me. So that's one thing that I learned, is just as long as you respect people, you try your best, people can see that, people can feel that you are truly trying your best to help and service people. So yeah.
Makes sense. I think that's really wise around, you looking at, the long term around someone that may not be a direct client. You have awareness that, that person has or knows people that could be your client. And so you treat them with a lot of care. I think that'd be really helpful for people to understand that. Man, that's awesome. I mean, I'm really pumped just to see you crushing it and just to see what you're doing. What do some of your clients think, by the way, that you are doing software development on the side? Like, do some of them think that's really cool, or how does it work?
Yeah. So with being in IT, it's very flexible. Um, I get to work from home almost 99% of the time now. So that's how I suppose I can make this work. But at the same time, even if you work 9 to 5, uh, you can still make it work because you don't have to sort of take time off to go to viewings, and that you can always schedule it, right? I've got a young son. I'm into crypto as well, right? Other investment, and I still have the buyer's agency and the full time work as well. So I can make it work around it all. You just have to, I suppose, be diligent. Have a good system around you. Have good people to support you, right? Mentally, but also have a good system. I learned in IT that you just have to automate a lot of things along the way, right? For me, I've got a good CRM system, quite simple, where I can just take people on board, invoice them. That helps a lot. That helps a lot because if you don't have a good system, um, it can really it can really, I suppose, hinder you of being efficient. And I think if you want to make this work as a side business, you just have to be efficient. That's my experience so far. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, it seems like you're highly organized. You know, you got your productivity down pat, hence you can juggle everything. And I think that's really cool.
Yeah. I mean, again, I utilize a lot of calendaring system and CRMs, just things to help me out to make sure I don't forget. Never ever forget appointments with clients, right? Even if I were to respond to an SMS or an email, if I tell them, okay, I'm gonna send you a contract or an info by tonight, I put that in my calendar. So really, you have a good system, but you also have to train yourself, your mindset to always remember, put your clients first. And your clients might not always be your buyer's agency clients, but every single person that gets in contact with you that wants your help in anything is your client, right? Whether it's your children, your spouse, or even your clients, or leads. Everybody that wants something of you, I think that's my mindset at the moment. Is I have to make sure I respond to them to the best to my ability. So having a good system allows me to not forget, but at the same time, having that mindset to always service people and always get back to them, whether they're going to be clients, whether they're going to be providing you with business or not, doesn't matter. If they want something of you, I feel like I'm obliged to give them the service that they deserve. And yeah, so far has worked quite great for me.
Well, on that note, we're going to wrap up, Tommy. I think it's incredible. Again, just reinforcing. You know, you've done 95 transactions in less than 4 years. You built clearly a phenomenal brand. You've built a phenomenal reputation. Obviously, all your business is coming such heavily from referrals that you can turn off your marketing. So, I just want to congratulate you. I know a lot of other people who listen to this will be inspired by your success. So, just wanted to say, well done.
No, thank you. Thanks for the opportunity. And then again, I applaud you for what you've created. And to everyone who's listening, yeah, Ben will look after you, and I can make it work as a side business. And you've seen people who've done it full time. They're doing very well. I hope this podcast inspires you. That's all I can say. So thank you, Ben.